There we go. All right. We live. We live, y'all. We live. Live and kicking it. What's up, y'all? We out here chilling. We out here chilling. We got Anthony from Gored Embrace joining us here soon. Should be a good fucking time. What's up, T-Ice 90? What's up, playa? What's good? What's good? We got Anthony from Gored Embrace getting in here. Cold beer. Some hot tapes. Got a lot of good shit going on tonight. See what we got here. See what we got here. So, I always like to start my streams with a little bit of what I'm listening to. I'm a huge music nerd. Hell yeah, that's what I'm about to do, bro. All ground up, ready to go. I'm going to do a little thing I like to do at the beginning of my live streams. I like to listen to music. Like I said just now, I'm a huge music nerd. I always got something playing in the background. I swear I live and breathe music, man. So I got this stuff going all the time. What's up, Jay? My dude in the house. What's up, playa? So yeah, let's just crack right into it. So I usually pick about, I usually do the 5-disc changer. That way I don't have to mess with it too much, but I've been in a tape mood today. So I'm playing some stuff that I just recently got. Let's see. Tonight we're going to be listening to a little bit of Tales from the Gutter. The Corpse Pile. Oh, we got just in time. Just in time. We got the Tales from the Gutter tape playing. Some Corpse Pile, Snuffed on Sight split. Another Barbaric Brutality favorite. The Inhumane Suffering, self-titled. I know you guys got a little reflection of the phone off of it. My bad. Let's see. We got the Transmissions from the Swamp Cosmos. I know how many of y'all fuck with Warflurch, but if you ain't fucking with Warflurch, you best get on it. We got the guys from Cincinnati, Nagathula. I played this one a little bit last week, or the last stream I did. Really cool stuff. These guys are out of Cincinnati. They're making big moves right now. A lot of stuff, good stuff coming out of Ohio. I just got this one in the mail yesterday. We'll get the side view. Got this from Corpse Gristle, the Blood Spawn tape. That shit's dope. So we're going to be listening to those today. Let's see. We got, fresh bowl loaded, ready to go. Cold beer. Right on. Tell Ray I said what's up, Jay. Let's see if we can get that guy in here, yeah? Let's see, send a request real quick. There we go. Got it sent out. Let's get him in here. Yo, what's up, playa?
Yo, what up, man? How's it
going? Just chilling. I was about to give away what I was drinking, but I got this specifically because I knew you'd be here.
Oh, what are you drinking?
So I'm trying to do this thing where I get stuff that's like based around who I'm talking with, where they're at.
Right.
So I know they got one of these.
Yeah. That's a Chicago classic for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I was looking around for sure. Like it was hard to find some stuff, but here in Mountain Home, they got a few like local selection for like craft beer and stuff that comes in from other places. So I was like, you know what, I've had these before, and I was like, I'm gonna do this the Chicago way, and like I'll bust these out today.
Hell yeah, those are pretty strong, man.
They are pretty strong. I don't mind them though. I'm an IPA, porter, stout. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I used to like IPAs more, but they kind of just like after drinking them for a while, I think they started to give me like headaches and stuff like that. So I just kind of stick to like the shit beer, like PBR and old style and stuff like
Oh
that.
shit, I got some of that too. I got some of that. These are for when I start to drink too many of those.
Yeah, that's
Gotta
always the
switch to
best
the
route.
light stuff.
Oh yeah,
Gotta switch to the old Colorado Kool-Aid.
oh yeah. Colorado Kool-Aid. I never heard that before.
The old silver bullets.
Oh yeah, but yeah. I mean, I'm chilling on the beer for right now. So I'm about to go out to Ohio later on tonight and hang out with some homies out there, some of the Hanging Fortress guys.
Oh, right on, Hanging Fortress. Those guys are dope.
Yeah, those are my brothers right there
Hell yeah, man. So, let's talk Gored Embrace.
for sure.
What's good? What's happening? What's good, man? We
Um,
got that promo that came out this year. That shit's dope. I seen you guys are on the Life After Death Festival.
yeah.
That's
Thank you.
fucking cool.
Hell yeah, we're looking forward to that. Yeah, the promo that just came out. We've been sitting on that for a while. We recorded that at Bricktop Recording here in Chicago, which is like one of the, like, I would say the best place to record out here.
Right on.
Yeah, and we're currently got some more stuff in the works right now.
Oh yeah, got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
we're kind of like, we're kind of working on a full length right now, but that's like probably won't see that till next year.
Hey, fuck, man, I'm waiting.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, we might have some more stuff on the way though before that. Just I don't know if I could give it away yet though, so I'm gonna kind of hold on to that.
Right on.
But yeah, and we're just trying to play as many shows as we can. I got a couple more announcements coming up soon with that as well.
Shit.
So,
You got
yeah.
any full U.S. tours coming?
Somewhat. We got something like that in the works. Again, I can't really talk on
Right.
that too much. But yeah, we got something cool coming along. Something cool.
Cool. How was that show you guys had with Maul not that long ago?
Oh, it was awesome. It was probably one of our best ones, I would say.
Yeah.
Mainly surprisingly, because that was our like first show back since October. We kind of not even on purpose took a break from shows, but we just couldn't line anything up in time. So we had got asked to do that actually by Maul when did that. We did like a weekend run with Maul not that long ago, like a little like 2-day run. It was like we played our demo release show here and like had them and Hanging Fortress come out. And then we went with them over to Iowa City, which is pretty dope. Yeah.
Yeah, that's badass, man.
Hell yeah. And then, yeah, I would say the show was really good because it was just our energy was all there. It's always fun playing with Maul, hanging out with those dudes. Those dudes are extremely cool. The other bands that we played with are really cool too. Begravement and Casual. They're locals from there. And they're really sick. Yeah.
Fuck, man. I always like that. It's cool when you get to see bands like playing with bands that you haven't heard before. You know what I mean? Because then it's just like you look at the flyer and you're like, I'm going to check them out. I'm going to check them out. I'm going to check them out.
Yeah. Especially for like someone like me, I always like checking out as many bands as I can all the time. Like I spend like most of my off days just cruising Bandcamp most of the time, just finding new stuff. So
that's hilarious, man, because that's literally been me the past few days. I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to see what's good on Bandcamp. And then I started getting all these messages for like Transylvanian recordings, like a bunch of people putting stuff out right now.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. That's what half my phone notifications are, stuff from Bandcamp. It's like, it gets crazy sometimes trying to sift through it all. And then stuff ends up going under my radar because of that, because I don't pay attention to it. But
yeah. Well, I feel like especially with death metal right now, there's a lot of stuff coming out, and we all got like, we're all in the same tree, but not all necessarily on the same branch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it's cool to see that there's a little of something coming out for everybody, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's so many different, like I would say takes on death metal out right now. Like you got the guys sticking it real true with like old school death metal, and then you got the kind of more modern sounding death metal, I would say. And then you never short on brutal death metal bands. There's always a million coming out.
Slam for sure. Like Slam is definitely making a big move right now. There's a lot of Slam bands coming out of the woodworks at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's funny because like a couple of years ago, like there wasn't as much as I would say like a resurgence of death metal as there is now, but there was always slam bands though. Like they were always there. I feel like.
Oh yeah, yeah, they were always there, just like hiding in the shadows and whatnot.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I was talking. I don't know if you're a fan of slam.
I am. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can settle this. I've had this ongoing conversation for I feel like half my life. Despised icon, slam or deathcore?
They're a hybrid to me. So like that band is very influential to me, especially like being a vocalist. Like growing up, that was one of my favorite bands,
Oh
and
yeah,
also just like I feel like they have a little bit of a flair in like every direction. They have some grindcore elements. They have some obviously death metal elements, and of course like just slam stuff. They're barely deathcore in my opinion.
that's
I
kind of
never.
how I see it.
Yeah, they're kind of like they kind of get the job for a cowboy reputation where
Yeah,
they were
they
they were
do.
they were deathcore for like 2 seconds and then they were death metal the whole rest of their career, but they still got
Yeah.
shit on for that. And
Oh
then
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
feel. I think they're dope. I mean, everything I've heard by them was fucking cool, and I've always been kind of like on that fence where I'll like, I don't want to call them deathcore.
yeah,
I really don't, but I'll listen to it and I'll be like, this is kind of deathcore, but then they'll bust out the more slammy kind of stuff with the guttural
yeah,
shit, and I'll be like, okay, all right.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was ready for a second there.
And I'm also not gonna say like deathcore is such a dirty word to me, at least because I grew up with a lot of deathcore stuff. Like I listened to like Whitechapel and Suicide
Oh, yeah.
Silence and all that growing up.
Oh,
And like I don't know, to me, I don't really see a problem with it. I think like
yeah.
some of the deathcore now is a little bit too polished for me, but I still think that there's some really good deathcore bands out right now still.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I always revert back to like the classics, like the first As Blood Runs Black album,
I was just listening to that earlier.
Allegiance.
Yeah, that's a
Dude, even
classic.
to this day, that shit goes so hard.
Yeah, have you ever heard And Hell Followed With?
Uh-uh.
You should listen to that band. That's
Yeah.
probably my favorite deathcore band ever. Them
See,
and Alicia, if you know that band.
I feel like I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to deathcore, I don't hate on it. I'm not like, don't think I'm hating on it or anything. It's definitely like it's something that can become so easily oversaturated that I feel like it's a genre I have to be picky about.
Very, yeah, see, like that's I definitely agree with that, and also because like for a while it got really like um a lot like it was just too many breakdowns after a while. I feel like with some bands in particular went more that direction, and then with the whole like everyone crossing over to like more gentler style, that kind of bugged
Yeah.
me a little bit too. I mean, I don't hate all that stuff either, but I just think that got really old after a while too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, for something so, I guess, technical, especially like the gentler kind of stuff, for something so technical, it can get very, I don't want
Stale.
to say boring, stale. There
Yeah,
you go. That's
yeah.
the word, stale.
Yeah, because some bands do it really well. Like the one, what's that one band? There's like 9 people in it. It's like or Vijaharta or whatever. Like I
I
always
feel
liked
like I
that
know
band.
who you're talking about. Yeah.
I always thought that band was cool. I even liked Volumes for a while. They were pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that's kind
Like,
of funny to say.
like the genty stuff, it never really was my cup of tea. Like I could tell, you remember Valemea?
Yeah, well, especially being from Chicago. Yeah, that band. They're
Yeah.
from like the suburbs of Illinois, and they were always playing here all the time. I love
Oh,
that band. The
oh yeah,
first
they're
two
great.
first two records are great.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. After a while, I feel like they lean more towards the genty end of things, kind of like Born of Osiris did.
Oh yeah, yeah, that band too. Another band from here that I really enjoyed coming up, but later on, their later albums just really lost me.
Yeah.
Especially like with Veil of Maya, how they switched vocalists. I really didn't care for that too much either.
Yeah. Wasn't it Born of Osiris that they redid the New Rain album with their new vocalist too?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I feel like that's, I mean, I get it. It's cool. You hear it in a different perspective, I guess. But
yeah.
I don't know. New Rain, the way it was perfect.
Oh, I agree.
Solid deathcore album.
Another band I think did that was After the Burial. I think they did that as well, and
I believe you're right.
I thought they did it really well too. Oh, I mean, I love that band too. I think always been consistently good. Even with their more gentler stuff, they were like more close to like how Meshuggah did it than
Yeah.
anyone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
definitely. And I don't even consider Meshuggah like, I don't know. I feel like they accidentally created that term somehow, like unknowingly. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Because
I
I
mean,
remember being a kid and I was just like, man, this is like listening to Meshuggah. I was like, this is extreme shit. Like, this is
mm,
borderline death metal, prog. Like, it's all kinds of different shit in there. I never would have thought it would have kind of unknowingly created some kind of subgenre, you know?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, with them, I feel like they're just so ahead of their time with everything that they did. Like even from the first like couple albums is just so different. And
Yeah.
it's like it, they're like one of the bands I think people like, try to replicate the most. I feel like, I
Yeah.
mean, and I mean that's hey, I don't blame people because if I could play that
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. If I could play with that, I'd definitely be doing that.
Yeah.
If I could do that, I'd be all for it. But, I mean, they are really good. They've always been one of those consistently good bands.
Oh yeah. Another band I think never really missed as far as like putting stuff out either. Like they always put out like solid material.
Oh yeah, definitely. So what do you think of as far as in my opinion, the deathcore bands, all those old school deathcore bands, the one that came out on top still to this day, I think, is definitely Job for a Cowboy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, they went full on like tech death, but like I think that's really awesome. Like I think, well, we were just actually talking about that like on the way to Minneapolis. Like me and the band, we were talking about how underrated Job for a Cowboy actually is. I mean,
Oh yeah.
they were successful, but I feel like they could have been way bigger than what they were.
Yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
only say they were really my favorite just because they kind of took the deathcore thing and just like not necessarily trashed that idea, but they
yeah,
just went full board death metal with everything, I think.
yeah, no, 100%. Another band that did that. I don't know if you remember that band from the UK, Annotations of an Autopsy.
Oh
But
yeah.
they did that with the what is that album called? I forget what it's called, but they did like a straight up death metal album, and that was pretty awesome too. It was cool
I've
seeing them come
honestly
back.
Yeah, I've liked them since the beginning, like Gorgor Gadget and shit, like all that
Well,
old shit.
welcome to Sludge City. Yeah.
Yeah, Slud City. Yeah, they were good too. I feel like they were definitely like riding that line between deathcore and slam, like Despised Icon was.
Oh yeah. There's a couple of bands that were like that.
Yeah,
Some more like obscure ones I remember liking a lot was Misericordium was really sick.
yeah.
And Postmortem Promises also. They're another like UK deathcore band that's really good.
Dang. So it's safe to say you're an avid deathcore fan then.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, not so much anymore. Like I still listen to all the classic stuff like once in a while, but I definitely like got burnt out on it after a while. But
Yeah.
like I was like for sure like really deep into it for a long time. Like when it was going on, like in like the earlier stages of it, I feel like,
Right, right.
especially because like I was just discovering kind of heavier music at that time. Like I always had some heavier music around, but that was like accidentally stumbling on Cannibal Corpse and then like Carnifex right after that, which is kind of funny. But like that,
Yeah.
like because like looking at that now, I would never have known the difference until like the term deathcore came around. You know what I mean? Back then, I was just like, oh, like this is like really extreme heavy stuff. Like I'm really digging this.
Yeah,
So
I mean, at the end of the day, like it's all metal. You know what I mean?
exactly,
I
and
don't I don't like to split hairs too much, but especially with a genre like metal, you kind of have to because you can't. I've had this conversation so many times. You can't put like, let's say, you ever heard of Ed Gein?
yeah,
So you can't put Ed Gein in the same boat as like Pantera. Yeah, they're both metal, but
yeah.
they're not. They're like I said earlier. They're in the same tree, just different branches. You know?
Oh, for sure. Like no, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. I think well, I mean, it just and that's like another thing. I feel like people get too hung up on that sometimes. Like I don't put them in the same like category, but to me, like if it's heavy and I like it, I like it. Like
Exactly.
I'm,
Exactly.
I mean, death metal is my favorite like subgenre of metal. I would say, but I mean, I still like everything else for the most part. I really like thrash a lot. I grew up with a lot of thrash stuff like
Yeah.
DRI,
Yep.
stuff like that. So
Oh, what's up? We got Bloodspawn in here.
what's up?
You listen to them yet?
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah, they're
Fire.
yeah, our bass player, who's actually from St. Louis, put us onto that band. Really
Yeah.
sick. Yeah, so looking forward to playing with them sometime.
So let's see. You're in Chicago. I'm trying to think of what other bands are from around there. I know you heard Pit Lord.
No, but actually, I did see like you did like a live stream with them. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool dudes, man. I mean, super like I don't know. If there's one thing I really like when people do this with death metal is they don't take it too seriously.
Yeah. Oh, are they
Like,
from here?
yeah, they're from or no, they're from Iowa. My bad. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Iowa. My
Okay.
bad.
No, you're good.
Yeah, that was my bad. But yeah, they're
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're sick, man.
yeah, there's a couple bands here that are really cool. There's Cryptum is really cool. They're another sewer rot band. That's kind of newer. Then you got like there's a couple death metal bands that have been around forever in Chicago, like they're like um that still get like a lot of buzz now. I mean, there's the OGs, and then there's like the guys that are like kind of like around my age and stuff, like Nucleus and Molder.
Okay,
And,
yeah, Mulder's
yeah,
sick.
yeah, and then you got Bear Mace, which is cool. Hate Monger is really cool. There's a pretty decent amount of bands out right now, and then of course you got the OGs like Broken Hope and Cyanide and stuff. They still play once in a while, and
Right.
yeah. So
So
oh yeah,
as far
Long
so as
Ripper.
far as death metal goes, because I'm right there with you. Like that is my favorite. It's honestly, it's. I feel like I listen to so much death metal. I haven't even really thought of the fact that it is a subgenre of metal. Like I've always just thought there's like I don't know, maybe in my head somehow I just kind of forgot about that, and it's just like death metal with its own thing. You know what I mean?
No,
But
for sure, I feel that.
as far as death metal goes, who would you say is like one of your biggest inspirations as like musically or and what are you listening to a lot of now?
All right, well that's a funny question. Well, because I know some of the guys are in here, like some of the other Gourd guys are in here. But yeah, like for like me and like the drummer and Steve in particular, like our favorite death metal band is Suffocation,
Fuck yeah.
and that's like a band that inspired me a lot, like vocally. One, because Frank rules, and also like just in general, like that was one of the earlier death metal bands, like the true death metal bands, I would say that I discovered, and like they just blew me away when I first heard their music.
Oh, yeah,
I, I
they're
heard,
incredible.
actually heard Blood Oath first, their album Blood Oath, and that like I feel like not only because it was like the first Suffocation record I heard, but I also just feel like in general it's very underrated as far as their
Yeah,
discography goes. Like no
yeah.
one talks about that album, and it's amazing. Um, but yeah, what I'm listening to now a lot, Warflurch rules. That band's awesome.
Yeah, they
Um,
are.
yeah, there's so many bands I listen to right now. Body Box, I like that band a lot. Um, Maul, of course. Hanging Fortress, of course.
Yeah.
Trying to think of who else. God, there's so many bands that I listen to right now. Oh, Chasm Dweller's cool. That band's awesome. Well, another big band that inspired us too a lot is, Internal Bleeding as well. Like that, pretty much the whole
Really?
like, the whole like Long Island like death metal scene really inspired like us to start Gored Embrace, because like,
Okay.
yeah, like we were me and Steve were in another death metal band before this,
Okay.
and like it was a little bit more like melodic, I would say, and like we wanted to start well, once everything happened with that, we wanted to start something like heavier, um and we've just like really thought about like what bands like to kind of like like model ourselves after a little bit, and it was definitely like Suffocation, Internal Bleeding, Pyrexia, like that whole era, that whole little,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Oh, and
I
Skinless,
feel like
like,
Skinless definitely. I feel like Internal Bleeding is one of those bands that doesn't get enough credit anymore.
no, Yeah, it's funny because like I like that they're like just like starting to play more again, and they're putting out new music, and their new music's awesome. Like I really think every album they've done has been amazing, and this last one they put out was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually just got the Driven to Conquer cassette tape. It was like the reissue.
Yeah,
That
that's a good
shit's
one.
so cool. That's a good
It's ridiculously heavy, irresponsibly heavy, to be honest. But
Yeah, it really is. Here, let's see. You were talking about a couple of them. I got Body Box in there. I just started collecting tapes.
oh, nice. Yeah. Oh,
So,
Malignant Altar, love that band.
oh man, that new album is so sick.
Yeah,
There's a lot
Corpse
of
Pile.
slamming stuff in there. Yeah, Corpse Pile. That's the one we were listening to earlier. The Snuffed on Sight split.
Yeah, shout out Snuffed on Sight too. Actually, we just met him actually in Minneapolis. That dude's super cool. His
Oh,
music's
Seven.
awesome too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Seven's awesome.
Seven's a cool dude. He's way cool. And Snuffy goes hard, bro.
Oh yeah, it's
Snuffy don't play
ridiculous.
no games.
It's ridiculously heavy.
Yeah, like so, like the way they describe it is exactly what it is. Like
Oh yeah,
stupid, dummy, fucking heavy shit.
yeah. That's that. See, like, and that's the thing is like I love brutal death metal, like probably more than like traditional death metal. I mean, I love all the classics, of course. Like I love Death, and I love Cannibal and Morbid Angel and all that stuff. But for me, like I'm more of like a like Devourment, Disgorge. I love Disgorge, so that's one of my favorite bands
Yes,
too.
yes, I love
Yeah,
Devour. I don't know if you saw the Impaled. The Impaled
I
EP is in there.
I saw it. Yeah,
Oh man, what's up,
yeah,
Nate Faithful? Yeah, that Devourment. That EP is so sick. I feel like, if I remember right, that's the only one with Wayne, and then there was one more with Wayne on it.
yeah. I can't. I'm terrible with album names and everything.
Me too. For me,
But
it's the song names. And I was thinking about
yeah,
this the other day. Like, because I like to listen to records, I feel like the way I look at everything is it's supposed to be beginning to end. Like a book.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
I don't
well,
even necessarily pay attention to the names. I just listen to it from the beginning to the end because that's the way it's intended to be listened to.
exactly, and that's the other thing too. Like I listen to so much stuff that it's just like I don't pay attention to like titles often. I just know like a band, and I'm like, oh yeah, that album by that band goes hard. like
Yeah, yeah.
like that's kind
Like,
of how I
honestly,
memorize it.
yeah, like even the Malignant Altar, I didn't even remember what it was called until literally right now. And I own it. Like, I just know it goes hard, bro.
Yeah,
That's all I need to know.
that right. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, it doesn't even matter. It's just
Yeah,
ridiculously good. Like that
yeah.
band's awesome. And one of those dudes is actually I don't know if you ever heard Insect Warfare, but I love Insect Warfare. One of the Malignant Altar dudes was in that band also.
See, I never listened to Insect Warfare.
Oh
They're one of
man,
those bands I'd heard about, but I haven't listened to them yet.
see,
They're,
like, not to
it's
cut you
kind
off.
of like, it kind of gives me like a grindy, like
Oh
thrash
yeah.
vibe.
Oh no, that's like straight abrasive grindcore. Like
Really?
probably one of like their God, I can't even remember the album now. The name of it. It's like World something. Of course, can't remember the name, but it's easily one of my favorite grindcore records of all time.
Yeah.
It's start to finish, all just go like no breaks whatsoever, just all gas.
Yep. Yep. Hell yeah. I love that kind of shit. I used to be way more into grindcore when I was younger than I am now. But I mean, when I say grindcore, it's like Ed Gein or like old school Cattle Decap, like the 30-second fucking grinder songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like see, like I love a lot of grindcore too. Like I would say, like I listen to more grindcore and like regular hardcore, and outside of death metal, that's what I listen to the most. Otherwise, but I
Right.
like a lot of Empower Violence too. I like all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
like I don't know, some of my favorite grind bands. I love Nazem a lot. That band's really good. Wormrot is really good.
Yep.
And there's a lot of good ones. But yeah, I mean, Ed Gein's cool too. I haven't heard them in a long time.
I know. I always throw that one out there because not a lot of people remember them.
Yeah.
I always
What
thought
about?
their names were so funny, like that one song, "Nice Shoes, Wanna Fuck."
Yeah.
It's like, yes, that's about as grindcore as it gets.
You ever listen to Impetigo?
I feel like I've heard of it.
Yeah, they're like a gore grind band from here, from way back in the '90s, like late '80s. They're a really good band.
Yeah,
Probably,
it's great, especially with a genre like grindcore too. Even like how much it's changed. Like
oh yeah.
you listen to like when the term I feel like when the term kind of like first got used, it was when like Scum came out,
hmm
or like what was that Carcass release? That was grindcore back then. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah,
considered grindcore back
the
then.
first couple, yeah, the first couple were grindcore for sure. I love Carcass also.
Yeah,
Band rules.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to
That's one
get.
band that I never listened to a lot of, but they are dope.
I got to see them like I want to say like 2013. It was one of those Decibel tours. They blew me away. It was whenever it was when Surgical Steel came out. I can't remember.
Okay.
There was like this. It was like the Decibel tour, but it was also like I feel like that album just came out at the same time, so that was what they
Yeah,
were playing most of. But that was really good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're good, man. I dig that stuff.
Oh yeah. I like Immolation a lot too. They're not grindcore, but when coming to like favorite death metal bands, they're up there for sure.
Definitely. I actually have
Oh hell yeah.
the Dawns of
That,
Possession record. They're
yeah.
actually going on tour with let's see how you say it. Mortiferum?
Um,
Mortiferum?
I say Mortiferum, yeah. I love
Yeah.
that band too. They're cool.
They're actually going on tour with them. I might hit that up in Salt Lake, but that's like a 4 hour drive.
Worth it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the other band that's there. They're called like Imperial something.
Oh, Imperial Triumphant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a avant-garde kind of like black metal band. They're
I
really
get
cool.
I
Really
get
cool band.
hardcore black metal vibes from that, just from the name.
Yeah, like they're very like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like progressive, but not like too progressive to where it's not heavy, but it's just very like outside the box black metal, I would say.
So is it kind of in the vein of like Wolves in the Throne Room?
Yeah, but like
Okay.
definitely like their own thing though. Like it's their own like weird take on it. It's really cool.
Yeah, they got a good. I mean, Boise is like one of those cities that a lot of bands. And you know what's funny? I asked a buddy about this. He calls it the skip. I guess a lot of people in the scene here call it the skip.
Oh, because people don't play there.
Yeah,
Uh,
people go from Seattle to Salt Lake, and it's like Seattle's 8 hours from here, and Salt Lake is like 4 from here.
yeah, yeah.
So
I don't. I think like there's a couple of states like that. I feel like I don't know why people do that, but
I feel like it's just like a guarantee. Maybe it's like something the venues can't like guarantee or something. You know.
yeah. Well, I mean, I like because how many do you have like any bigger venues out there or not really?
So we got a Revolution Concert House in Garden City, and that's kind of like along the lines of like a knitting factory. I don't know if you have one of those,
I don't know.
or like a Big Easy or something.
That sounds familiar, but I don't think we have one.
It's just one of those like bigger bar venues. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Like you go there to see Cannibal, or you go there to
Mhm.
see like War,
Yeah,
or like
we got like a couple of those.
yeah, we got those two, and then there's like the Shredder is where all the underground shit is. Like the Shredder is really cool. They got like a half pipe in there and shit. It's
Nice.
like definitely like catered to punk rock and metal.
Oh yeah.
Um, like I remember my first time I went there, I went and saw Exhumed and Creeping Death, and
Word.
I fucking I go in there and I'm like looking around and I recognize this dude from another band and I was like, hey man, do they care if we like smoke weed here? And he's like, it's the Shredder, bro. And I was like, all right, so like right over there. And he's like, yeah, that's cool. Wherever's cool. I was like, all right, cool. Like, I could get down with this. Like, it's definitely catered to the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have a couple venues like that. They're more like DIY
Yeah,
here. Because yeah, like most of our venues here are like pretty big. Like that's the thing about Chicago. We're really spoiled when it comes to shows because like you could see like you know like I don't know Cannibal Corpse on one side of the city and on the other side of the city like knocked loose or something.
Right.
So it's like there's always a million shows going on, so you kind of got to pick and choose. I mean, that's also the kind of hard part about being like a local band from Chicago too, though, because like finding like your way to play in between all that stuff is kind of tricky sometimes.
You know who I just remembered, I believe is out of Chicago, who I am a really big fan of, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it Dead to Fall from there?
Yes.
I fucking love Dead to Fall, dude. I don't know how you feel about them, but I always thought they were cool as fuck, man.
I love Dead to Fall.
Dude, I remember the first time I heard them was the Phoenix Throne album.
Yeah.
And that shit is fire.
I just saw them.
Did you? I know they're doing stuff now.
Well, they did this like fest. So I don't know if are you familiar with like hardcore at all or not really?
A little bit. Oh, what's up, Mike?
Yo.
Sorry, go ahead. Barbaric mentality up in here. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, my guy. No, but yeah, like there's this band called The Killer. That's like an old school like 90s hardcore band from here, like a legendary hardcore band from here. And
right.
Their one guitarist is like one of the biggest promoters in Chicago. So he threw like this like 2-day fest, and he had he threw a 2-day fest. He had Dead to Fall play both days, and it was really sick.
What?
It's the first time it was the first time they played in like I don't even know how long. So they had
it's been a long time.
Yeah, who else did they have on that? They had like funny enough, there's a couple of bands that actually had old members of Dead to Fall play also. Like Harvest, I think they're called Harvest, like a hardcore band, and then Blue Ox. I think they're from Minneapolis as well. They're really good. But,
okay. Yeah, I've always been a big Dead to Fall fan. Yeah, I saw them one time, and it was when the Are You Serious album came out, the last one they did.
Yeah.
And I believe it was with Winds of Plague, Impending Doom. As Blood Runs Black was there, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was it. Or Born of Osiris was there too.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
That was rad.
I almost forgot about Winds of Plague, but the Great Stone War, that record still holds up.
Oh yeah, and Decimate the Weak. Decimate the Weak is sick. I love that album. I got like an autograph wall that I have like going. I don't know if you can kind of see it like in the corner. That's like the Decimate the Weak tour poster. Yeah. And I got John Clegg to sign that, and like their keyboard player, I think their drummer or something. That right there, that's Mitch Lucker's autograph.
Oh shit, that's awesome. Hey, Scab Hag back on that 2008 shit. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Scab Hag in the house, bro. You listen to Scab Hag?
Hell yeah. Band rules.
Oh yeah, dude. They don't play no games either. That shit's heavy right out the gate.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Cool shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude, man. Winds of Plague though. What about Knights of the Abyss? You remember that band?
Dude, are you kidding me? Knights of the Abyss was sick.
Yeah.
I liked them, so I liked the Juggernaut album a lot. But I liked them before the Juggernaut album even more.
Yes, I agree with you on that too. Oh yeah, hey, Alicia too, Barbaric Brutality.
Yes.
We just talked about Alicia. Hell yeah.
Yep.
And also, yeah, MySpace deathcore was the best deathcore.
It really was.
Actually,
it really was.
Dude, what about that? Do you ever hear of Jerome?
I don't know. I don't think so.
They were a Chicago deathcore band, but they had like one song that kind of like broke through to like all the like it was for like a week was like everyone's like MySpace page song.
Yeah.
It was like that's how you know that shit was heavy. It was called Eat the Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song was awesome. Oh, or Demolisher. Demolisher was another band from here that was really cool.
That's crazy, man. It's so cool to hear other people that like went through the same phase. You know what I mean? I guess not phase, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I still listen to like most of that stuff. Like I go back and listen to what's that one? Oh, Burning the Masses. You remember that band?
Yes.
Burning the Masses. I listen to that band all the time. Burning the Masses is sick. They're basically just
I always really liked Kill Whitney Dead too.
Ooh, oh my god, I've heard that name forever.
They were like the deathcore mortician.
Partisan Turbine, yo.
Yes, yes,
Oh wait, I got it. See you next Tuesday. That band is insane.
yes.
Yeah, but
They
actually,
like they rode that grindcore line too, I think.
oh yeah, oh yeah. They were a very weird band. They were like
Yeah.
kind of like almost like math core-ish too in a way. That's really
You know
cool.
what's funny is I've recently I've heard that term and I did not know what it was
Yeah,
for the longest time. Like I just figured it was like I always just threw it in the bundle with like deathcore or grindcore. Like you
yeah.
ever listen to Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza?
Oh yeah.
That I threw that into the same boat. Like it's grindcore-ish, it's deathcore-ish. Like I don't know.
But
Like
with
it's just
a lot of tappy riffs though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They were good, but I guess mathcore does kind of like put a title on it. It's just
well,
how do you describe that to someone without them hearing? You know?
I would just say like the bands that like kind of define that genre is like early Dillinger Escape Plan, and then like Botch. Botch is another one.
Yeah,
Trying to think. Yeah, like those are like the main ones for me. Like that whole kind of like, or Dead Guy even. Also, Dead Guy is also part of that, I would say.
yeah,
But yeah, there's a lot of
yeah.
cool bands out of that
That's
like
crazy.
whole thing.
That's it's just cool to hear about all these bands you don't hear about for a long time. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing now? You know what I mean?
Well, funny enough, like why I brought up Knights of the Abyss is because like randomly I just seen like they just like they're like selling merch again, so I think they might be like doing something again.
That'd be kind of
Which,
cool. It'd be really cool if they would get into some more like death metal than
yeah,
they like leave the core thing behind a little bit. You know?
yeah. I mean
I mean, it's been so long.
that's kind of like God, what's that band called? There's there's another band that came back kind of recently. I can't remember, but it was another like kind of deathcore band, and they kind of like an older one, and they kind of brought like a little bit more death metal-y style to it.
Yeah,
And then, but also they just went, oh no, it was Annotations of an Autopsy. They put that EP out, and it was more like went like back to like more slammy, like brutal death metal type stuff. It was really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. We got oh, what's he saying? Pickwick Commons, who calls himself Caveman Mathcore. How's the caveman gonna do math?
Oh hell no,
Oh God. Yo, you ever listen to Texas Ketamine? Have you heard of them?
no.
My boy Gavin is in here. They're fucking killer. He plays bass in Texas Ketamine here in Boise. They just
Oh,
dropped their album last week and that shit's fire, bro.
no. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
Is that
heavy.
is that like death metal or?
It's so I would say it's like the perfect blend of death metal and slam.
Okay, yeah, that's right
So
up my alley then.
it's yeah, they got all kinds of different shit going on and it all sounds fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
A little something for everybody, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's my kind of stuff. Like, well, that's what we try to do with our band too. Like, we really like brutal death metal, obviously, like with all the, like suffocation stuff. But we also like all the
Right.
old school death metal, and we try to blend everything together so that way just and we like groove a lot too. So we try to
Right.
put more groove than anything in there,
Oh,
just to kind of
you gotta
just
have it.
just to make it more fun to listen to and just like have be as heavy as possible. That's like the other thing. I mean, with this next stuff, I'm gonna try to make it like more like you know do more like guttural type vocals too, like more just straight like legit like waking the cadaver type shit.
Yes. Did
Which
you listen to
they're
that new album?
yeah, that shit
Oh
goes
my
hard.
God, that shit's heavy.
Yeah,
Heavy. If
yeah.
you like that, you should check out sorry, I was reading Mike's comment.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah,
So,
shout out Seven for real. That it was
yeah,
super
for
cool
real.
meeting him. Super cool meeting him. I told him I was like, we got to do some stuff soon. Like whenever we're in the area, just
He's a
play
cool
some
dude.
shows.
He's
Oh
cool.
yeah,
Those
super.
Poly dudes are always cool, man.
Hell yeah, super down to earth.
Yeah, yeah. And in a scene where everything's popping right now, it's cool that people can stay like that, you know?
Oh yeah, cause that's what it's about at the end of the day, and that's what I try to do. Like with us too. Like I try to like shout out people that like, you know, whenever I hear new stuff, I try to like, you know, shout them out on our page, like let them know
Yeah.
like we fuck with you guys and support your stuff and all that. Because I think that's just as important, you know, because there's a lot of bands coming out now that are super underrated, like incredibly underrated.
Yeah.
A band that like I just want to bring everyone's attention to is in here right now for sure is Mutilation Barbecue. That band is
Yes.
ridiculously
Yes.
underrated,
Yes.
ridiculously underrated. And
I have been. We were talking about Bandcamp earlier, and I've been like stalking their Bandcamp page for a minute because their tape inventory is getting low. I hate to say that in front of like other people, but
that's it. Hurry up and buy it. Hurry up and buy it so he doesn't get one.
no. Make sure there's one left. Make sure there's one.
Right. No, yeah, I feel that. Like I also really like Pale Gaze a lot. Pale Gaze is
Yes,
really sick, and he's
and
also the homie. So shout out the homie Peter because that dude rules.
and that's just one guy, isn't it?
Yeah, but he also plays guitar in Mutilation Barbecue though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he commutes all the way out there, like to
No
Cleveland.
shit.
Yeah,
Damn.
because he's from
That's
Connecticut.
that's some dedication.
Oh yeah, I respect that.
Fucking rad. Yeah, definitely. And especially when you got a project that you're working on by yourself. Like, you ever listen to Putrid Stew?
Oh yeah, that's the boy Cody for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in like legit like nine projects.
Yeah, dude, he's out of control. That new Volcano.
Oh, dude, that's like see. All right, so there's a beatdown band from New York from the '90s called Irate, and that like Volcano legit reminds me of Irate, and it's funny because like I was talking to Cody one time and he was telling me how that was his favorite like beatdown band. So I was like, yeah, I already knew because like when he was telling me about Volcano, like he's like, yeah, like heavy Irate vibes, and it does sound just like Irate,
Yeah.
like just even more brutal than Irate. But
They got, I
go
mean,
ahead.
like, all those golf dudes, they got some good shit going on, too.
Oh yeah. There's like because like Devin's also in Tomb Sentinel, and he's
Yeah.
also in Self Loathing now too, which is pretty dope. So
Yeah, and
shout
of
out.
course, Limb Splitter.
Oh, the
Limb Splitter
classic.
is,
Yeah,
and yeah.
Limb Splitter is like triple OG, like brutal death metal at this point. Like
Oh, yeah.
goated for sure. Also, our my bass player who's in Gored just commented. He said all the MB tapes are sold out as fuck.
Dang, bro.
Yeah,
You best be playing.
right.
I've been stalking that shit for a minute now.
And see, but that's you got to pull the trigger on that stuff, man. Like
I know, man. I know. It's out of
even
control, dude.
even when it's like even when you're like, damn, should I buy this tape right now? Like I just bought
If
like
you
10.
have to ask yourself that question, you should probably just
The
put it in your
answers
cart and check out.
right for real
That's
though.
how I used to not be on that. I used to not be on it. Like, I'll admit, like, there was a point in time where, like we were talking about earlier, death metal was kind of at a standstill at one point in time.
Yeah,
Nobody was really fucking with it that much. And then, like, out of nowhere, I think it, honestly, I don't know if it obviously wasn't out of nowhere, but for me, it was like Gate Creeper. Just that, like, that's what kind of like gave me that push away from like the classics that I knew and loved. And,
yeah.
me being kind of like closed minded on it, like, I don't know, I like what I like, and I'm just going to stick with that.
Well, yeah.
And then
I
it's
mean,
just like,
yeah,
it's just
like
a rabbit hole after that.
yeah. I would say like all the bands that kind of came out around that time were the same for me, like which brought me back into like the like underground stuff that we have now. Like, well, also like Tomb Mold for sure because they were around
Yes.
out around that time, and obviously like our name. So shout out Tomb Mold. That's like we're literally named after a Tomb Mold song. So like
Hell yeah.
you know that band means a lot to me for sure.
And I honestly didn't even think about that until I was listening to Two Mold the other day, honestly.
Oh
I
really?
like that. I like that I double take in my phone and I was like, this ain't Gored Embrace. Oh no, this is too old. That's Gored Embrace.
Yeah.
Shit's dope though, man. I love too old.
Yeah, for sure. And that's my thing too. Like, well, Evan.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like that's my thing too. Like, I love when like bands are named after like other band songs. I don't know, for some reason I just like that. I just think it's really cool.
It's clever. It really is. I was going to say, so when it comes to Tomb Mold, if you had to pick between Manor or Planetary,
Manor.
Manor, I think I'd have to agree. It's kind of hard for me to decide, honestly.
I mean, oh yeah, hell yeah! Shout out Celestial Sanctuary, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
that Scab Hag just brought up. Those dudes rule. Actually, while we're on that though, on the UK tip, shout out Slime Lord though. Slime Lord rules. But yeah, Manor is literally like. I remember when that album came out and people were like, "Oh, it's not as heavy as it should be," and then it's like, "What are you listening to?" Because like it's heavy as balls. Like, are you sure you're actually listening to the album? Like, it's okay. It's more polished than the release before that, but I mean, not by much. Like, literally not by much.
They still maintain that rawness on that
Yeah,
album.
and it just has a more full sound. Like, and that's fine. Like, I love like really raw shit too, of course. Like, really like it hurts my ears to listen to it raw shit. But I also think like Manor just had like such like thought provoking like everything involved with it. Like the song titles, like the artwork, the production, the riffs. Like, I just think it's all around probably their best record.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can agree with that.
I love Planetary. I think that was really good too, but I just think Manor just surpasses it for me.
I feel like Planetary is kind of a different vibe.
Yeah, it's like Planetary. I would say, I mean, it's not that much of a different vibe. I think it's just more of like them like evolving their sound a little more.
Yeah.
But not in a way where I think it takes away from Manor at all. Because I think Manor just has like really pummeling riffs. Like another band from another band that like I would say like really brought me back into like the underground stuff too is what's that band called? Scorched.
Yeah. A lot of shit happened with Scorched, but I still, the way I see it is, I wouldn't justify any of the actions, but the
No.
way I would say it is the music was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just more referring to like, that time in the music, like when like all the underground stuff was starting to come back. I think like Scorch was one, Outer Heaven was one too for sure.
Yes.
Outer Heaven rule.
I actually have which Scorched album is it? The Excavated for Evisceration.
Yeah.
That one's sick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, like trying record was good.
Oh, my bad. Something happened. I did something, I think. You're good.
No, you're all right, cool. No, I was gonna say like I really like that new Gate Creeper stuff too. Like, I like the direction they're going in. They're going in
Unexpected Reality? Yeah. Yeah,
like,
that shit's good.
like more grindy.
It is. They I don't know. I feel like they kind of like reverted back to a little bit of their hardcore roots.
Yeah, which I love that.
Yeah. Like those first 7 minutes definitely remind me of like borderline power violence. You know what I mean? Like Nails.
Yeah. Shout out Nails though. That band was another big one for me too. Like when they first came out.
Yeah, Nails is sick.
Yeah. I don't even think are they even doing anything anymore? Nails? I don't even think they are.
Honestly, I don't think so. Like I know they like like issued one of their albums, I think on Silent Death. They did like a reissue of that, and that's the last thing I ever heard of them. But I haven't heard any music. Would be cool though. I mean, that's some top tier shit, dude. Nails is dope.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Like I think like as far as bands go that like tiptoe the line from like hardcore and like death metal, like a band that I miss a lot is this band from Detroit called Breaking Wheel. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they're insane. Yeah, you should listen to them. Celestial, or was it Ceremonial Torture? Listen to Ceremonial Torture by Breaking Wheel. That band rules.
I'll have to check that out.
They were legitimately a hardcore band that just fully went death metal. And it was super sick. Like just like kind of see that transition happen. Like I like
I
that
always
kind of
thought
stuff.
that. I do too. I can agree. Do you listen to anything other than like out of the metal genre, like hip hop or anything
Oh
like
hell
that? Like,
yeah, hell yeah.
okay, so like, I don't know. A lot of people don't really fuck with it, but I mean, a lot of people also do. Are you down with like Mac Miller shit?
Not so much Mac Miller. I think I just like never got into him like when he was popping. So I feel like that was I just missed that. Yeah, well, yeah, Barbaric Brutality just said Bones. Like that was much more my style. And I love like early 2000s like 90s rap. That's like my favorite stuff. I love a lot of
Yeah,
like
I agree.
yeah, like but like, you know, like the whole like sesh, like all the people in sesh like Bones and Xavier Wolf and all that stuff was big for me. Um
I bring up Mac Miller because like like you were saying how bands transition from like it, you see growth, you know, with these musicians, and like I was just looking down at it, and it reminded me of that his last album that he did before he passed away. It's a album where you can hear that kind of growth in his music, and
yeah.
so I can definitely see what you're saying when it comes to like you hear bands like almost like cross genres, I guess.
Mhm.
But it's
Mhm.
really not. It's not like changing their style. It's just kind of it's more growth than anything, I think.
Right. And that's what I think is really cool. Like well, shout out Aaron Ray Shrimmer. Yeah. Ray Shrimmer rules too. But yeah, I don't know. I love that kind of stuff too. Like I like seeing the growth with bands and stuff like that. But I also like when it comes to like music outside of like the heavy genre. Like I'm really into like pretty much like everything. But I really love like hip hop, rap. Uh, I like a lot of shoegaze. I like a
Yeah,
lot of like alternative rock, like a lot of stuff like that.
yeah,
And you know, like punk, like old school punk, like a lot of that
right.
kind of stuff too. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've actually been delving a little bit more into the punk scene because I was informed. I don't know if you listen to Frozen Soul, Chris.
oh yeah.
He was telling me the punk rock I listened to was entry level, and I was like, well, then I need to fucking step it up, I guess. I got to
what
step it up.
what bands were they?
What bands was I listening to? Let's see. Like the last time I was way into punk rock, it was like the Casualties, Rancid, Transplants, Sex Pistols, the old school shit, Ramones. And he's like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's entry level stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know. You right. You right. Leftover Crack, Choking Victim. They were dope.
yeah,
They were
yeah,
pretty much the same thing, I guess.
yeah. Like the punk I listened to is a lot of that stuff. Um, I listened to a lot of Bad Religion.
Yes.
Um, yeah, stuff like that is like very like early for me. Like what kind of got me into like faster stuff.
Yeah.
Um, like Fear also.
Yep.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I like a lot of like the kind of newer like punk bands that are doing like the traditional like hardcore punk style too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool bands like that, like Torso and Scowl are really cool.
He introduced me to this band called Wolfpack.
I've never heard of that band.
They're like from like Sweden or something. They're pretty good.
Oh, sick.
Um, there was a couple like I feel like he was showing me some like local Texas punk bands.
Yeah,
That shit was cool too. I can't remember all their names. I used to like I liked punk rock a lot more like a long time ago. I feel like that's why in all reality there's a lot more. It goes further than like Casualties and shit like that. So
yeah,
that would be like, that would definitely be like the beginning stage of punk rock, you know?
yeah. I mean, I like well, another good like punk band from Chicago you should check out is they're funny enough they're called Snuffed, but just Snuffed. You should check them out. They're really
Okay.
good.
I do dig on punk, man. I like it.
Yeah, they're like
Um,
one of the best.
I ha- I actually did. I don't know if you like Rancid at all. I still fuck with Rancid every now and then.
Yeah,
But
Rancid's cool.
I saw them twice. I saw them once with Dropkick Murphys, and that shit was dope. It was like outside, and it started like raining, and everybody was fucking like shit-faced drunk. Like it was cool, man.
It's awesome.
Then the second time was way cooler. It was like a small like punk festival, but it was L7 was there.
Oh wow.
Pennywise, Suicidal Tendencies, and Rancid.
Oh wow, that's actually a really good lineup.
Yeah, dude, it was sick.
Yeah, Pennywise rules.
Oh yeah,
I like Pennywise a lot too. I like a lot of that stuff too. Like, a lot of the like pop punk too stuff is pretty cool to me. Like the early pop punk stuff. Like I like Saves the Day and stuff like that. They're really cool.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I got into all kinds of different stuff. Nowadays, it's mostly death metal, though. Death metal, and like on the weird day, it'll be like country, like old country, like Charlie Crockett kind of sounding stuff. Merle Haggard.
right. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really gotten into country that much, to be honest. Like, not in a bad way, but I just never really like sat down and like really listened to it. Like outside of just like hearing it.
I'm also like a big fan of the blues, though. Like I dig the blues. Like nothing beats like smooth ass like blues guitar. I feel like.
See, I respect that, but again, I just never really gave it a listen because like
Yeah.
what the way I grew up was my dad showed me a lot of stuff, but it was like it'd be from like Minor Threat to like Depeche Mode to like the Clash,
Yeah.
like stuff like that, and then like eventually like Hatebreed and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of shit I was going to the library to check out the CDs and copy them to my computer and shit.
yeah, yeah, it's like oh
Like
man,
Perseverance. I remember getting like Perseverance, fucking there was like some old In Flames album there one time.
yeah. Honestly, Perseverance is one of the best records of all time to me.
Oh yeah.
Like
Stuff
that.
Sleeping Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. Perseverance is one of my favorite ones. I can't remember the other one I liked a lot. Rise of Brutality.
Going with Doomsayer on it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just a band that I just overall love. To be honest, like they're still one of my favorite bands of all time, and I think
I can agree with that.
I think Perseverance is just like altogether just a start to finish amazing album.
Yeah, and Jamie Jost has always been a really cool dude.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like he's a really stand-up dude, and he's really interesting. I actually listen to his podcast mostly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's really funny.
I haven't even heard it.
Yeah, it's really funny because he gets like, like Corpse Grinder on there. He gets like a bunch of people on there and just like, talk shit with them all the time.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Have you heard the solo Corpse Grinder stuff yet?
No,
No?
no. I mean, no offense, but I'm not much of a solo album guy. Don't really.
Yeah.
Like, especially if it's a band that like I know you from that band and that's the only reason. Like no.
I feel it, yeah.
Like just
if
because
Cannibal wasn't a thing and some guy came out and was like, I'm Corpse Grinder, this is my band, it'd be a little different.
well, yeah, I mean, if it was a death metal band called Corpse Grinder, that'd be sick. But like, I mean, I don't know. I just don't. It just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't interest me. I guess. Like, it's just like when like I'm a big Slipknot fan too. Like, I don't care. Like, make fun of me for it or not. But like, I love Slipknot.
You gotta tell me. I like Slipknot, bro.
Yeah, but like, listen, I'm not here to listen to like Corey Taylor's like solo album. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like,
you're right. You're right.
Like, I mean, and no offense, like, I don't mean offense by that. I'm just saying, like, so it's not my thing. Like, I think why I'm a fan of those bands is all of them together. You know what I mean? And I don't really feel like anyone stands out. And like anyone, like everyone, they have their standout members for sure. But I mean, like, I don't think I would like to just hear that element from that band because that's why I like that band. Is because it's all cohesive together. So
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to the two singles that he put out, and I honestly thought they were good, but I was kind of like with you on that. I listened to it, and all I can think is Cannibal.
And that's another problem with it.
I just feel like I'm listening to Cannibal.
that's like a big problem with that for me. It's like I just feel like that's all I'm gonna think about the whole time. And
Yeah.
it's like, and like I said, like I'm happy, like more power to them, for being able to
Oh,
do
yeah.
that and all that. But it's just not my thing. Like I'd rather just jam Cannibal or Slipknot.
Yeah. What do you think about all this Chris Barnes stuff?
Uh, dude's a
Dumb.
clown. Dude's a clown.
Yeah, bro. He's
Like,
clowning.
like seriously, like I try to like stay out of all that shit. Like I try not to look at it because it's just disappointing, especially
Yeah.
because like early Cannibal was huge for me for sure, getting into death metal, and even like I'm gonna say it, first 6 Feet Under record rules, awesome. Like
I agree. I totally agree. I actually have it. I have a couple of their albums.
yeah, first two are really good, and then everything after that not really great for me. But I just feel I just feel like it's really disappointing to see that. Like to me, it's like I don't know. Really, my opinion just like starts and ends. Like that dude's got some serious issues, and he's really not stable.
Yeah,
So,
not,
like,
not so much. Yeah,
he should just probably stay off Twitter.
he probably should. Yeah, might be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not really here for all that bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
not really here to see a guy who's like butthurt because his band's not relevant anymore.
I mean, I always try and give him credit where credit's due. I will say that. Like you're
Absolutely.
saying, those first 4 Cannibal albums are timeless.
And
Like there's some 6 Feet Under stuff that really is pretty solid.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, like I respect it, but see, like I would never like. I would also never do that either. Like even if I like had an opinion about like bands, I don't go on social media to be like airing that shit out. Like that's not
Right.
I don't have any respect for that because that just makes you like really just like a big ass hater, to be honest.
Basically,
Like,
just alienated yourself in the entire scene.
well, not only that, but just like it's just not cool to me because I feel like you should be supporting each other. At least like
Exactly.
bringing each other up. Even if you're not a fan of it,
Exactly.
like just be happy to see people winning. You know what I mean? So that's like
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying.
That's the vibe I more adhere to instead of like just shitting on people just because you're bitter. Like, nah, bro.
Yeah, no, that ain't cool.
Not into it. But
No.
but whatever.
I
Like
guess so.
that's why he blew his vocals out, and the new 6 Feet Under album sounds like a joke. But shout out the other guys on the album though. They're pretty sick.
For sure. Everyone else sounds solid.
Yeah, but we don't need to hear any. Yeah. No.
No. I was talking with a buddy last night, and it's like you'd think at a certain point someone would have told him.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Don't
like,
do that. Don't do the E's.
Not even that. Just don't do it. Period.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah, right. Just stop. Leave us on a good note, dude. You did that a long time ago.
Yeah, leave us on Graveyard Classics 4. like leave us on that. Leave us on the best note ever, like the TNT cover. That's hard as fuck.
I'm sorry, dude. When I was younger, I thought that shit was so hard. I thought it was so hard. I was like, yo, they're doing crazy shit over here. Like, they're doing
actually, probably should seek help crazy.
Yeah, like I thought it was cool when I was a kid. Like, my first death metal show was 6 Feet Under.
Yeah, that's respectable though, because I feel like probably around that time they were still good, at least.
It was around the time the 13 album came out.
Okay.
And Decapitated was there. Christian was
Decapitated.
There. Yeah, Decapitated. And Abysmal Dawn. It was like original Decapitated, like old school Decapitated. Like,
I love Abysmal Dawn too. That band's really cool.
That was such a solid lineup for my first like actual show. Like, huh?
Good.
Oh well, it was like my first death metal show. Like the first one I can really like, where it was like, I'm gonna do this forever. Well, you know what I mean? The first show I went to though was a little different. It was Zao, Demon Hunter, wow. Becoming the Archetype, and August Burns Red.
Nice. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. first couple August Burns Red records are awesome. Timeless shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what's their first album? Messengers, right?
Thrill Seeker?
No, it's the one that has like Backburner on it and 11th
I thought that
Hour.
was Thrill Seeker.
I don't know. I'm terrible with it. It's the one with the hand with the candle in it.
Okay, I know what you're talking. I think that is Messengers.
Yeah, Messengers. That album is just ridiculously great. And then
yeah, those were all good bands back then.
Zayo is really cool too. Demon Hunter, not really into them, but I respect them for what they are. Like, not my thing.
Archetype was probably the coolest one on that lineup.
I always loved the name. Never listened to the band though.
Yeah, they were good. They leaned more towards like the death metal side of everything. I feel like, if I remember right.
Yeah,
but that was really cool.
I've always heard they were good, but I never seen them.
I mean, it was my first show, but like I don't consider it like the one that got me to think, you know, I'm gonna be doing this kind of shit the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was cool. There was only like 30 people there though, and it was like Orangevale in fucking California, and it was a small show. I was like, yeah, I mean, this is cool. And then I went to that 6 Feet Under Decapitated show, and it was fucking full house. Like, okay, this is where I want to be. Like,
right,
this is where it's at.
For sure. Yeah, that's I think my first show like that, like my first like metal show. Well, my first show ever was Rob Zombie, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and that was pretty cool.
Like solo Rob or White?
No, solo Rob. It was still cool though for me. And then like my first like metal show was like one of the Summer Slaughters. Like, I want to say like 2011 Summer Slaughter. So it was like Black Dahlia.
Yes.
It was like Black Dahlia, Whitechapel, As Blood Runs Black. The Contortionist, I think, was on there.
Oh yeah. I never got to check out a Summer Slaughter. I always wanted to because they always had such killer lineups. But like, when that started happening, I'd moved from Sacramento to Boise, and I only got so many shows after that. They ain't bringing Summer Slaughter to like a tiny venue.
No, hell no. Yeah, that shit fell off though. Like I think like they just like stopped booking as good of bands. I mean, I wish I could have gone in 2007 because Necrophagus played that, and that band I regret every day not going to see that band.
They were a pretty consistent Summer Slaughter band, if I remember right.
For 2 years, yeah, and it was like them and the Faceless. The Faceless is on there a lot, and I love the Faceless too.
Like old school Faceless is sick.
Planetary Duality is one of the best records of all time.
Yeah, they're killer. They actually played a show here one time, and I have this buddy who's in this band called Fall of Fathom.
Mm-hmm.
And they played a show with the Faceless, and one of the dudes went up to him and he's like, "Hey, do you guys have like a manager or anything?" And they're like, "No." And he just like gave him their card, or gave them his card or whatever. And they're just they were super pumped on that.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that's a pretty cool experience to have happen to you, like as a band, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like that's especially from like a band of that caliber would be really, really cool. But yeah, I mean, I just like as far as their newer stuff goes, I'm not really into it though.
Like, they were another one of those bands that changed a lot.
Yeah, Autotheism just never did it for me. Like, and that's after that, that's when it just like really dropped big time.
Yeah, they were way good, like, back in the day.
Yeah.
Those Summer Slaughter tours were sick, though. The one I miss a lot is Mayhem, honestly.
I've never been to one of those.
So, I went to one in 2014. The headliners were Korn and Sevenfold. But they had Cannibal there, they had Mushroom Head, they had Body Count, they had Thy Art Is Murder. Devil Wears Prada was even there. I didn't really watch their set because they were good in their beginning. I thought.
Yeah, I agree. I liked them a lot in the beginning. Thy Art Is Murder is definitely a good band though. I love that band.
Yes, I've seen them twice. They were sick both times.
I've never
Way
seen them.
cool. I actually got to meet CJ the last time I saw them, and we were just talking about music, and I was like, so what are you listening to? Like, what do you predominantly listen to? You know, we're just bullshitting, having a cigarette. And he's like, honestly, a lot of like old school hip hop and reggae. And I was like, oh, right on. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Hell yeah. Like, that's cool. It's
Yeah.
always cool to see like people. I feel like good musicians have a very open mind towards different genres.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's a good thing to have too, because you don't want to be, just pigeonholing yourself to where you're only like one genre that you can't see it past it because it gets boring pretty fast that way.
It gets very one dimensional at that point.
Yeah, and then like, especially like if you listen to a lot of music, then it's like I need some variety sometimes.
I feel that. I definitely feel that.
True.
So what's the scene like in Chicago nowadays? Like,
Uh,
is it popping?
Not really. I no, I mean like I feel like for local bands it's not as poppin' here. Like I feel like because there's so many big shows that come through that it's just not there's not many people that come to like local shows unless they like know who you are, like kind of a little bit. So it's hard
Right.
for like newer bands. Like I mean unless you're in a hardcore band. Like if you're in a hardcore band that doesn't matter. Like you'll get people to show out because it's more of like a it's more of like a supportive like uplifting scene, I would say. As far as death metal
Right.
goes, it's very like it's only newer bands that play because like a lot of those like mid tier death metal bands here they like mainly just play when there's you know um newer I mean sorry bigger shows going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of like you got to get on like a big show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
A big show rolls through, and you got to get a spot on it.
and it's hard because there's so many bands fighting for that, so it's like
Sure.
so it's not really that poppin', but I appreciate it for what it is, and like everyone that does come out and that does support each other, like I fuck with that heavy. So,
Oh
but
yeah.
I mean, it's cool, like because most of the time, like when we go out of state, that's when we get the most love, anyways. To be honest, like
Right.
more than in our own city, because still we're kind of an unknown band here. We've only been around since like 2020, pretty much. We started as soon as the pandemic started and it's just been hard because like we just started playing shows like in 2021 and we've only played Chicago once as a Chicago band because it's hard to book shows here. Like it takes like months to book shows here because everyone's trying to play all at once.
Yeah. Honestly, I've been trying to like get into like figuring out how to like book shows in my area because I fucking hate getting the skip, bro. Like, there's got to be something I can do like locally to fix that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean booking shows it just depends. Like my advice to that because like I've booked a couple shows in my time. I'm not an expert at it, but I mean like really it's just a matter of like if your venues don't have like a talent buyer or anything, like it'll be easier for you to book shows there.
Yeah.
Because like most venues will have like a promoter like slash like talent buyer that like will like when they see a big tour happening, like they'll look at the route and say like, oh, like let's throw that show like over here too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's basically just a lot of that. Like if you're gonna book like out of state band, like a lot of them are gonna ask for like guarantees, like at least like a certain amount of money to play, just to make sure like if they're driving out that far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It
I
makes
feel
sense.
yeah. I mean that's really just it's just the logistics behind it. Like it's just making sure everyone's like taken care of if they're out of state and all that. That's
Right.
really
Right.
that's really just like the main thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
Because I
mean,
mean, these people are traveling, you know?
oh
So,
yeah, and especially because like you know, uh, that's and another thing is just like trying to get like kind of a buzz going in like the local scene. Like if you want to start with that, like just try to find a venue that and just like ask a bunch of bands to play and see if the venue will host it. Like they might ask you, they might ask to, like, charge you or something. I don't know how that works there, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I would think. I mean,
yeah,
if they're going to put up the place, you know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely something I wanted to get into because it does suck getting the skip all the time.
No, I hear that.
So, I mean, really all it would take is like looking at, tours that just get announced and then
Yeah,
going to like the venue owners and then talking with people in the bands and shit in all reality.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, sometimes like if it's a bigger, like slightly bigger band, they might have a booking agent that you might have to work with, or a tour. Like usually it's a booking agent with that kind
Right.
of stuff.
Right.
Which is not. It's really just sending emails, and usually they get back to you. Like usually it's like you'll figure it out pretty quick if they're gonna play or not. So
Right.
and they'll just
Yeah,
tell
because
you what they need.
like I know there's that Dying Fetus tour coming up.
Yeah.
And if you look at the flyer, they go from Seattle, like I was saying earlier, to Salt Lake. And there's a
Right.
day in between. And I was like, they're literally playing every night except that night, and we're right in between there.
Yeah. I mean, if someone can,
What's that?
I'm pretty sure. I said. Sorry, my phone's like dying here. But
Oh,
yeah, yeah, they probably would do it. Like if you find the right place and the right promoter to put it on, they'd probably do it.
yeah.
But
Well, shit, man. If your phone's dying, I won't keep you any longer.
all right, no worries. Yeah, dude,
But
this is a lot of fun, man.
yeah, man, like I always tell everybody, I'm welcome to repeat people. Like,
Oh yeah,
come on down. Like, let's find a time and just fucking shoot the shit, man. I'm all for it.
for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely do this again sometime.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
definitely. I look forward to hearing more from Gored Embrace, and you guys fucking rule.
Thank you.
The music's killer, man.
Thank
Can't
you.
get tired of it, dude. I can't stop listening to it.
That seriously, that means a lot. I appreciate that.
You guys are doing awesome. I appreciate everything you're doing. So thanks for
Thank you.
coming by. I appreciate your time, man.
Thanks, man. I'll talk to you soon.